Mm-mm. What is going on, YouTube? We are just getting started with a little Amazon FBA Q&A. We got the Tiki Talk live as always. And we have already been rocking, but one of the questions we got on TikTok is, what will you do for inventory? So what I was saying is the fear mongers are going to tell you, it's the end of Amazon. People are going to be done and all that stuff. There's other countries to get things manufactured, you guys. China's not the only one. We're already working on switching manufacturing for some products. I work with a brand. We're shipping to Mexico, picking it up. If you're the GOAT, you'll figure it out. Oh, careful admitting that because that's illegal. But yeah, there's people who are going to figure it out. I would be, again, careful sharing things on the internet because you guys got to understand that I know people are going to do it. The two things that I know people are going to be doing is under declaring goods and shipping products to other countries that don't have the tariffs. I am not saying to do that, but just keep in mind, if you are, it's probably not something you want to share with everybody. Have a shipment ready to send out in 10 days. Should I wait or just send and hope tariffs reduce? You should speak to your freight forwarder to see how they're navigating it. You should see what the tariffs that you will pay are. I talked about this. Your freight forwarder will be your best friend in this time. I don't believe in the waiting because yes, I do think that the tariffs will be negotiated down, but we're also in a ding-a-ling swinging contest right now where it's like it's almost like two of the biggest countries are just swinging their ding-a-lings around and seeing who wins. So we're all at the butt of that joke. So we don't know. We don't know if this lasts 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. Like I saw a video today, someone guaranteeing that the tariffs would be gone next week. But I also heard them say that last week. So I don't know how accurate that is. Nobody except for China and the US know how long that this is going to go for. And even then, I don't even know if China and the US know how long this is going to go for. So you guys have to figure out how to navigate it with the current landscape. What happens if you have to wait 6 months? You're going to go out of business for 6 months waiting for the US and China to figure their stuff out? No, probably not. So again, speak with your freight forwarder, speak with your manufacturer, and that would be ideal. What do you think the top 3 categories are for FBA? I think there's good products in every category. I can give you my top 3, but my top 3 does not equal the top 3 on Amazon. It's just what I prefer. Home and kitchen. Home and kitchen, health and household, toys and games. By the way, just received the listing optimized, gave some feedback. When that's done, it will be great. Nice, bro. Very happy to hear that. Very happy that you liked the order. And yeah, glad that you were able to send those revisions over to the team. That is what we try to make it very easy on people with, I feel like on at least avoiding like the super back and forth on, like, for example, when you work with like a Fiverr freelancer, I think it's a bit of a different game. What do you think about hiring an agent to manage and run my FBA while I learn? Not a fan, not a fan, not a fan. They'll likely 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to lose you money. You're better off figuring it out for your business. You're better off figuring it out, navigating for your business, because why is somebody who's going to get a check regardless, whether your business is growing or not, a monthly check? How do they have the best interest in mind for your business? They're going to run your ads. They're not going to look at conversion, for example. They're going to run up a check, and then they're going to just keep making optimizations to your ads in hopes that that's going to fix it. 9 times out of 10, I do not recommend anybody hiring people out. The agencies or people who I think would make sense for people to hire are the ones that cost $4,000 or $5,000. And when I say make sense, I mean the ones who will propel your business. And obviously, as a startup, that's not ideal. You're right. The communication is top notch. Not going to lie. Very fast responses too. Let's go. I love that. I love that. And I'm very happy that you are getting value from the service. And you're one of the, you got in you got in at a good time, because I am going to be making that service exclusive to my mentorship students soon. My way, appreciate the gift. Y'all don't have to gift. If you guys want to support the lives, keep your money in your pocket, but just tap that screen, share the live. I've never withdrawn a single penny from TikTok, so save your guys' money. Luke, for private label, do you have your own trademark, or you just put trademark? I don't know what you mean by that. Having your own trademark would mean that your trademark is on all of your products. You know what I mean? So you kind of asked a question, but they're both the same thing. But yes, we have trademarks for our brand. You don't trademark products. You trademark a brand name, and then any products within that brand name, at least on Amazon. Sorry, I was reading something. At least on Amazon, all of those will be protected under your brand. Let's get it. What countries do you plan on visiting this year? I'm a little weird about sharing where I go before I go there. We have a trip booked in 13 days to go to 2 countries. Maybe we'll fit in a third there, and then we have some trips later on in the year, God willing, go to some more countries. But yeah, I don't know. I'm weird about sharing where I went before I went there. Have you gone to Eastern Europe better than anywhere else? Honestly, bro, I'm geographically challenged. I couldn't tell you what countries are in Eastern Europe, Northern Europe. The only places that I've been in Europe are London, Mykonos, Athens, and Santorini. Oh, yes. Then I have been to Eastern Europe. Croatia was the one that it was like one of those things. Regret is maybe the wrong word, but I wish I went to Croatia when I was right there. I was like an hour, 2-hour flight away from Croatia. But yeah, I have gone to Greece. Never been to Albania. Greece is super dope. I went to I don't know how to pronounce that, but I know where that is. My buddies went there. Nice, bro. That's awesome. I've heard Croatia is really beautiful. I actually had a trip booked with my buddies the year prior to when I went to Greece, when we were going to do Greece, Croatia, London, Egypt, Turkey. But I ended up canceling that trip back in 2023 because my mom got sick, and then I User 65, where did you see that, brother? I just saw somebody else say that on one of my videos. I was not his first student, bro. So I don't know what. I love Kev, but if he's telling people that I was his first student, I'm going to go on the record and say that is so incorrect. I did go to the same high school with him. We knew of each other, but we weren't like in the same friend group. We didn't hang out or anything like that. My cousins taught me how to sell on Amazon, you guys. Nobody online, nobody else. Literally nobody else. By the time I had met Kev, ecom, side hustle, I was doing 10, 20K a month on Amazon. We had met up one day through a mutual friend, and we met up at the beach, and we just got to talking. I had my laptop, and we were like, I was showing him my Amazon account, and we were chopping it up about Amazon and like bouncing ideas back and forth. But no, I was not his first student. Nor was I ever his student. I learned how to sell on Amazon from my cousins who were my mentors. And then I learned just the same way everybody else did. I was consuming content and all of these things. So no, sir, but y'all gotta tag me in that video if he really did say that, because I gotta correct that for sure. I was not his first student, not even close. Thoughts on 245%? I've literally never been anybody's student. Thoughts on 245% tariffs? My thoughts on them are the same as when they were at 125% and 100%. It's going to be some growing pains for a lot of Amazon sellers, but it's going to be an opportunity to find new manufacturers. There's ways to navigate these tariffs. Somebody above in the comments earlier was talking about it, not necessarily the ethical way to go about it, but there's a lot of things that people are going to do to either potentially avoid these tariffs, move manufacturing to another country. Newsflash for everybody. Sorry, I was reading another comment. Newsflash for everybody. Almost every product that's manufactured in China is manufactured somewhere else in the world. So, can FBA make you a cash millionaire? Yes, it can. It's not guaranteed though. Okay, I seen a comment from him saying you and him did go to the same high school. Yeah, we did go to the same high school. We didn't really know each other like that. And like I said, by the time him and I had our first interaction in person, I was doing 10, 20K a month on Amazon profitably. So definitely did not coach me. He's been the homie. I'm not discounting that. We've had lots of talks. But yeah. And the reason I got so it was weird because somebody else literally commented on my video the other day about the same thing. Chinese sellers will struggle, right? Yeah, I'm actually excited about the tariffs. Because you guys got to think, Chinese manufacturers are not going to get their products manufactured in other countries. I'm going to get my products manufactured in other countries if these tariffs are here to stay. So it really is, I don't know, it's a very exciting time. 50% of Amazon sellers are Chinese manufacturers. So it's going to even the playing field. All these markets where people were price tanking and all of this. That's why everything is not like this linear black and white, tariffs bad, tariffs good. Tariffs can be good and bad, right? That's how I see these. I don't agree with the tariffs and how they were set. I don't really consider these reciprocal tariffs. I don't think anybody really thinks that reciprocal tariffs, because reciprocal means even, right? Or I guess that's not what it means, but you would think that's what it is. But the double-edged sword is it's actually going to even the playing field for those who understand how to pivot. Best way to learn FBA for free as a beginner, watch my videos. Did you hold manufacturing in China or still producing and just holding off shipments? Well, we were in a very interesting time, Enrique, when the tariffs got announced. Any products that we only have one product that's being produced right now in China. Everything else was shipped right before the tariffs. So we were pretty lucky there. I don't think I would hold off my shipments just because I think that there are other ways to potentially navigate it. But that's just me personally. You guys want to talk to your freight forwarders, see how much you guys are paying in tariffs and all of that. How do I join the program? Created a new seller account and waiting for tariffs to settle. You can check out the AMZ Masterclass mentorship in the TikTok bio. You guys can apply there. You'll know that you qualify for the program because you'll be prompted to book a call with my team. If you're not prompted to book a call with my team, then you did not qualify for the program. And guys, my recommendation is not to wait on tariffs. Do not wait on tariffs. Figure out how to navigate it. We have to protect. Again, I believe that they will go away, but we have to believe that they're here to stay. And if we believe that they're here to stay, waiting means not going into business. I just started. Shipping is costing me 2K instead of 700. What should I do? Why is it costing you 2K instead of 700? What do you think about connecting Amazon FBA to TikTok Shop? you can like send inventory from Amazon to TikTok Shop. That's what we do. Do you need to provide invoice for private label to Amazon? Not for most products, no. Would you think it's smart to ask forwarder to bill me for tariff when it arrives at customs instead of upfront like normally DDP? I think DDP shipping is going to be your friend during these times of tariffs, but you guys got to talk to your freight forwarders about that. Got a YouTube comment. Hi, bro. My listing hijacked. Some other sellers is selling in Canada with my ASIN number. You got to get brand registered. Brand registered, my friend. That's the only real way to combat hijackers on your listing. Lost. Thank you for sharing the live, my brother. Good to see you. Are you doing private label? Yes, MZ. I am all private label. All the numbers you guys see on my account are private label. Speaking of numbers, if we get to 3K likes and 30 shares, I will show live numbers. Live numbers for the day. Price for a course, then cost of inventory, freight, shipping, marketing will now run you 7 to 9K. What do you mean will now run you? As opposed to what? Are you referring to like the tariffs? And it depends on what course you buy. I mean, there's courses that are $100 and there's courses that are thousands of dollars. So it would really be dependent on that if you're going to add the course cost into the price. What do you think about 3PLs? I don't use them personally. There's not really a need for me to, but if you have a use case for them, then they're cool. Or send them a fake cease and desist. Yeah, that's another thing that you can do. That's another thing. I would try that. I have brand registry already and applied for trademark. He is selling the same product with high price. I sell my product $85. He's selling for $215. Is that considered some kind of drop shipping? Well, I don't know if he's drop shipping. The price wouldn't dictate that. But if you're brand registered, contact brand registry and file an IP complaint on your listing. If you really want to solidify your, oh no, the product's $215. You could always order their product and then return it. And then just take pictures of it with Amazon. Just make sure it's returnable, just so that they can see that like, hey, this seller is not selling my product. It'll just help your case. Arturo, thank you so much for sharing the live, bro. Beginner, do you think it's best to have a mentor? I feel like, sorry, I was reading something. I feel like it's a little biased for me to answer this because I have a mentorship program, so it would be like my best interest to say yes. That being said, I've seen so many people sell on Amazon without a program, and I've seen a lot of people do it with a program. I think it depends on you as an individual. So if you feel like you need that extra guidance, because I know that on my journey, there was like little nuanced questions that there wasn't a whole YouTube video for, not even like on Google for, and having that mentor and that guidance was huge. So for me, I don't think that I would have been successful selling on Amazon without my cousins who mentored me. But I know people who are successful selling on Amazon without it. I also don't think it's a bad thing if you do need a mentor and help. Like I said, I needed that. Let's go to YT comments real quick. Can they use my PPC as well? I sell in the US, he is selling in Canada. If it's on your same listing, then yes, if you're running PPC, he can't use your PPC, but if you're running PPC ads and he wins the buy box, you're driving traffic to him. Hopefully you're winning the buy box though. Do you ship your products directly from Amazon to TikTok Shop? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, I love this comment so much. Pinning that one. I started watching you 5 months ago and I now sell $10,000 a month. Absolute W, Madison. I absolutely love that. God bless you. Wishing you Godspeed. And hopefully in 5 more months, you come in here talking about how you're doing 20 or 25K. You can do it without a mentor. Info is free, but the tools they provide in the mentorship is pretty helpful. Yeah, I agree as well. What kind of product should I sell now that tariff is 245%? The type of products that you sell shouldn't change because of the tariffs. Still products with good market numbers, good average reviews, good over $30 selling price. Like, my criteria is not changing. The only thing that's changing is, I'm going to start looking at distribution and logistics in other countries. What's ROI for private label? Average 20 to 30% profit margins. Can I do it buying in Marshalls and Walmart only? I don't do arbitrage. That's a completely different business model than I do. I'm creating my own brand. 1 month selling on FBA, 2 sales a day, running PPC, have A+, having trouble. Any advice? Get more reviews, increase your conversion. Ads does not make you more. Well, it does. Ads is not the number one thing that will make you money. Right? Let me say that again. It's going to be low. You're like, wait, what? Ads is not the number one thing that makes you money on Amazon. You want to know what it is? Running ads with a good conversion rate. If you run ads and you have a terrible conversion rate, you're going to be paying Amazon some money, son. But if you have a good conversion rate and you can increase your organic rank, then you're profitable on your ads. Does your class educate A to Z? It's so much more than A to Z, but yes, every single aspect about Amazon private label, and that's just the learning part. You also have all the tools and resources that I've just built. Actually, last night, we just announced, this year alone, I've added quite a few things to my mentorship program that I'm quite proud of. But yesterday, we just officially announced the AMZ Masterclass bookkeeping and accounting service for my students. And then we made a really, really big change to the freight forwarding company. I already thought my freight forwarder was competitive because it beats quotes like 9 times out of 10 for students. And on average, students save like 30 to 50% on shipping. But we made it even more competitive where students are, God willing, going to be able to get lower pricing. Also on March 26th, March 26th, and then yesterday, announced 3 new things. The update to the improved shipping or freight forwarder, the accounting service, and the inspection service, all added this year. And then we also had the listing creation service that got added at the end of the last year. When I say it is the Harvard of Amazon private label education, son, it's the Harvard. Do you do FBA? I do. Champagne Papi, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Why does it feel like it's lagging? Do you use virtual assistants? I have some VAs, yes. Can they use my, I answered that. What up, Chris? What's good, my guy? Good thing we had that call about sourcing from different places. Yes, 100%, bro. We'll probably talk about it a little bit more tomorrow as well, Chris, on our Q&A session. But yeah, I think a lot of people are panicking. I don't know. I was more worried about when TikTok was getting banned than 245% tariffs on China. I'm more optimistic about it than negative. And I also there's something about when everybody is fear-mongering about the same thing that just gives me this weird confidence. Call it delusion. Maybe it is. I'm very okay with admitting that. But maybe I'm just delusional and I'm sitting here thinking, well, if everybody else is panicking, well, 90% rule, right? 90% of people are going to be busters. 10% of people are going to go on to do something great. So if 90% of people are fear-mongering, then there's probably something that they're not seeing here. So I'm pretty confident. At the very least, it will help U.S. sellers. Oh no, I saw somebody say the forbidden word in the live. It will at least help U.S. sellers compete with Chinese manufacturers more. How can I get a better conversion rate? Increase your reviews and optimize your listing. How many reviews do you have, Honda? How much is in your opinion, is a good initial investment? Like $3K USD? Do you do OA? No, I do private label, the best business model on Amazon. Do we need to provide invoice for private label to Amazon? No. Luke, would you invest in other stuff like Section 8 or just stay in Amazon? For me personally, I do invest in other things. That's the forbidden word, by the way, Section 8. I'm not a Section 8 guy. I despise Section 8. So yeah, we won't even go down that rabbit hole, but it's not for me. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Just because one man has an opinion on something doesn't equal bad for everybody. But I think that the way that Section 8 is portrayed on the internet, at least for most people, not everybody, like they make it seem like you're going to make 10K a month from Section 8, from being, your casual employee or 9 to 5 person. I saw a quote today that I really loved. You don't invest in real estate to get rich. You get rich and then invest into real estate. I have 7 5-star reviews. You got to get that up, bro. How much do you net? 7 figures. Do you have a course? It's so much more than a course. I have a mentorship program, the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education. There needs to be a banner. Don't mention Section 8. LOL. Yeah, I know, right, Chris? Sorry, I missed it. If you answered it already, can a hijacker use your PPC? If you're running PPC ads and they're on your listing, you're technically running PPC for them as well. Amazon is gated everything again. Well, yeah, because I think it's very interesting how people think that things on Amazon shouldn't be gated when it's actually makes the most sense for Amazon as a business. Why would you allow anyone to just sell any product with a Nike logo when you don't know if it's from an official wholesaler or distributor, and there's millions, like literally Nike loses hundreds of millions of dollars because of Nike knockoffs? And so why, as the largest e-commerce platform in the world, would you not verify that people are getting their products legitly, not from Target, not from Walmart, because that's not what it is, from an official wholesaler or distributor who is legally allowed to sell Nike, Adidas products, right? I've been speaking with some people in the Amazon realm, in the wholesale game, actually, and Amazon's making it harder for wholesale and arbitrage sellers, as they should be, by the way, just like they started making it really hard for people who were selling supplements and topicals on Amazon. Because Amazon, if you were a business owner, would you want nonsense on your platform being sold, which all that does is hurt your reputation as a platform? No, you wouldn't. And then you have people who are like, Amazon gated everything. Yes, you have to get approval to sell products that not just anybody can sell. There's a process for that. And it's not what these guys on the internet are telling you, Target and Walmart and Costco. Like, you might be able to slip between the cracks there, but then that's also why 99.9% of people who get hit with Section 3 are arbitrage and wholesale sellers, because they're teaching you guys not to do the proper strategies. And if somebody's entire strategy is based on gray area tactics, then it's almost inevitable that, a good amount of them are going to end up getting blocked and removed, Section 3, banned on Amazon. Do you assist with finding products in my mentorship? Yes. What's up, Luke? What up, Jay? One of the mentorship students up in here. If Amazon's asking you to provide an invoice, it could be for a specific category, like if you have a topical, electronic, a hazardous product. And if that's the case, you can just pull your invoice from Alibaba. How can I get more reviews? I just signed up for Vine 1 week ago. So Vine, which you already did, and then friends and family. You do arbitrage or private label? I do private label, the best business model on Amazon. So should I contact seller support to get rid of the hijacker? Yes, contact brand registry, Harry. Is 500 enough to start with? I hear you need 20K. Whoever told you need 20K is super incorrect, brother. Super incorrect. I've never launched a product for 20K in my life on Amazon, and I've launched 40 plus products and been in business since 2019. Not once have I even gotten close to 20K. $500 is also too low for a private label, which is the business model that I do. I'd say minimum 3K. That's an average 3 to 6K to start private label. And that's for everything. Cost of goods, shipping, your listing, potentially LLC if you go that route, your images, like all in. For information about the mentorship, Moochie, be sure to go check out the AMZ Masterclass mentorship in the TikTok bio. If you guys go and apply and qualify for the program, you'll be prompted to book a call with my team, where where there my team will be able to answer any questions that you have about the program, as well as help create a customized plan for your unique situation and where you are in your business, or if you're not in business and want to be in business. Also, y'all, I just posted some gem videos on the TikTok today. Oh, there's another thing before we talk about that. Amazon just made a I don't understand what this student said, but Amazon just made a very big change today. For anybody who knew this, you used to be able to have multiple variations on Amazon. Goodness gracious. Sorry, I was reading something. Goodness gracious. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. That's why I can't read messages when I'm in the middle of a sentence. Where would you source your products with China tariffs? India, Pakistan, Thailand, Indonesia, pretty much all of those Asian countries. There's Mexico. Amazon new update. Thank you, Honda. Amazon made an update. So previously, if you had multiple variations, you used to, before you turned them into a variation, you can take each individual product. So if I had a black water bottle and a white water bottle, I could keep those separate, enroll each one into Vine, 30 reviews, and then later merge them. And then I would have 60 reviews. It was like a little hack that they did that was allowed. Not anymore. So I'll read you guys this new policy. We aggregate reviews at the parent ASIN level, not the production variation level. We recommend that you enroll all your product variations together. Plan your ASIN merger strategically and consider review limits if you decide to merge products after they have received Vine reviews. Each store has the same limit of number of Vine reviews that can be retained based on the following enrollment tiers. So the top tier, 11 to 30 products, middle tier, 3 to 10 products, and then the free tier, 1 to 2 products. When you merge 2 or more separate parent ASINs under a new parent ASIN, only the maximum number of reviews for your highest enrollment tier will be retained. For example, if you merge 2 products that are enrolled in the top 30 reviews each, your new parent ASIN will retain only the 30 highest quality reviews. So very, very interesting. I know that that's going to suck for some of our brands. We utilized that so much. But this is business, you guys. Like, here I am. This is the thing that absolutely sucks for business, at least for us. But what am I going to do? Cry and complain? Wah, Amazon, please bring the review manipulation back. No, you roll with the punches. We figure out how to navigate it. We're no longer, because we at some point, like one time we had a product, 10 variations. You enroll all of those into Vine separately. That's 300 reviews. That got patched. So now with those 10 ASINs, we can only do max 30 reviews. It's a bit unfortunate, but that is part of business. And like I said, we learn to navigate. So now we're just going to have to push even more for reviews on products that have multiple variations. How long does it take you to start selling winning products? 3 months. I started September, October, November, December, 4 months. By the time, from knowing nothing about Amazon to having a product live on Amazon, which was a winning product month 1, was 4 months. And one more thing that I would like to say, everybody. I almost feel, and this is not so much directed, or not so much. This is not directed at M5. This is just a general thing that popped into my head. I almost feel like all the information about how to sell on Amazon nowadays is very positive thing, but everything is a double-edged sword. It's also a negative thing, and here's how. I see so many people come in and say, how long until I make X amount of money on Amazon? Or how do I not? No, that's an okay question. How much will I make if I invest this amount of money in Amazon? And it's like so many questions where and let me preface this. I think it's okay to be curious about things, especially when you're going into this new business and all of that. But I think that sometimes the point of starting a business can get lost to some people because of all this information. It's like, I see people have this huge checklist of conditions on like, okay, the stars have to align. There has to be 500,000 stars visible in the sky for me to start a business. The sky has to be this shade of blue in order for me to start my business. If, the wind isn't 15 miles an hour the next day, then I can't start my business. It's like these weird conditions as to like, okay, if this doesn't happen, I won't start. If this doesn't happen, I won't start. If this doesn't happen, I won't start. And what I've noticed for a lot of the successful Amazon sellers that I've seen, I do these lives all the time. I've launched multiple products. I have the students. Remember, I want to say it's okay to ask questions. That's not what I'm saying. But the ones that I see who are the most successful are like, okay, I'm interested in selling products on Amazon. Step one. Step two, what are the action steps that I need in order to have a product launched on Amazon? And then they just go do it. Right? It's not like, and again, it's okay. Be like, hey, how much does it cost to start? How much is the average profit margin? Like that's learning. That's a different thing. But when it becomes this thing of like, hey, am I guaranteed to make $10,000 in profit if I invest $3,000? Like, oh, if you're thinking like that, you shouldn't start a business. You should only be focused on the fundamentals and essentially giving it your all on those fundamentals in order to get to the end result. Not this list of like, okay, XYZ has to happen and I have to get 9.3 hours of sleep, sleep on my left side, like weird conditions. And that's like what it almost feels like when I do see those big lists. I'm not here to convince anyone to sell on Amazon. I don't care what business model you do, but I will say this. Whatever business, whatever venture, whatever dream that you have, the only way that it's a true dream is if you don't care how it's achieved. Of course, ethically, of course. But you will do anything ethically in your power to get it, not these conditions. If you have to have conditions for your dream, it's not really your dream. And I say that not to be harsh or anything like that. I say it because business is going to get difficult. There are going to be times where you want to quit. There are going to be times where you have imposter syndrome, where you think, am I supposed to be in business? Am I supposed to be doing this? And if before you even ever started, it's condition A, condition B, condition C, in order for me to even take action, those days where it does get hard, those days where you do have imposter syndrome, those days where you do want to quit, you might just quit those days. Peace, love. Thank you for sharing the live. How do I go about buying someone else's private label brand? Well, step one is they have to want to sell it. You have to find people who want to sell their brand. Does distributors accept DBA? I mean, if you have an LLC, you don't accept a DBA. A DBA is filed under an LLC. So would it work as a seller's permit? I think as long as you have an LLC, you should be good. Oh, no, you still need a seller's permit. Obviously, they want to sell it. LOL. Do you know the legal way to do it? Technically, Amazon will tell you that you would need to make a new seller account, but there's people who aren't going to do all that. You would essentially need to make contracts with the seller because there might be a time where they need to do like a verification again, and then that seller is going to be tied to it. You would want to make some kind of agreement where no matter what, they would be able to step in and do that for you. And then you would just transfer over, the business documents and all of that. like assuming that it's under an LLC, right? Under a business for the Amazon account, transfer over all the legal business entities into your name. Technically, it's not supposed to be transferred over on Amazon. Meanwhile, people still do it. Do you know where I can get my seller's permit on the internet? Look up seller permit for your state and it will pop up. That is how you get a seller's permit. Another thing, everybody, I love these lives. I love answering everybody's question. That is why I do them. But on the off chance that there's not some dude on the internet on live who's there to answer your guys' questions, we live in the world of AI, everybody. I can figure out, like, actually, just to show you, I'm going to open up ChatGPT. Where can I get a seller's permit? I mean, I already know the answer, but I'm just proving a point. Seller's permit in California. And I'm a finger typer, by the way. I type even slower. Oh, look at that. 0.2 seconds. 0.2 seconds, and it gives me the official .gov website for California and the step-by-step instructions on how to apply for a seller's permit. You guys, any question that you have, you're less than 5 seconds away to knowing the answer. Never let needing to know the answer to a question be the reason why you don't take action to figure it out, especially with AI, you guys. It's way too easy. Like, if I had this when I was growing up, I might be a billionaire by now. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, like I would be leaps ahead of where I am just because some of those even nuanced questions that I was trying to figure out, like AI would have been able to help me. I would have never been second guessing on what to do, how to find a piece of information. You can use AI to find manufacturers in other countries, you guys. How long does brand registry approval take? It depends on how you do it. If you do it through IP Accelerator program, it will take like a few days. Oh, sorry. You mean on Amazon? Yeah, it'll take a day. I thought you meant like the trademark itself. Debbie, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live vibing, asking questions. Y'all, make sure that you guys are showing some love to my last few TikTok videos. Anytime you see my TikTok videos pop up on your feed, be sure to go show them some love. Last video that I posted is everything you need, to be successful selling on Amazon. Second to last video, how business problems actually make you better. A lot of people fear and run away from business problems. They become positives. And how to optimize your Amazon PPC ads. One of the big hurdles of Amazon sellers. Do you think I will need a new ASIN if I get a new supplier and product looks slightly different? No. I saw, and this is me like getting defensive at the person who left this comment, not you, Peace. All love. You're always in the live supporting. I saw somebody who was like literally trying to argue with me on one of my videos, like, oh, you have to, it's so funny. The people who don't sell on Amazon have the most to say about Amazon. Amazon requires you to change your listing, create a new listing if you change suppliers. No, you just edit over your listing. Change your images if the product looks slightly different. Keep the same reviews. If it's the same product, then you're good to go. I've done that quite a few times, Peace. Don't worry about it. Oh, wow. Are they strict with Amazon brand registry? No. As long as you're not impeding on somebody else's trademark, it's pretty straightforward getting approval for that. Do you use Alibaba to order from other countries than China, or is there another platform? Yes, Harry. Alibaba. Also use, why am I blank? I always blank on it. Import Yeti. And just like you saw, well, not saw, but heard, AI, you guys. Like, watch. Let's do this together. Find me white label manufacturers in other countries besides China 4 insulated water bottles. Ready for this? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10 seconds. Actually, 9. I think I counted 1 second late. In 9 seconds. Oh, just kidding. It's still going. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16. We'll add like 5 seconds. So in 21 seconds, ready for this? India. And it gives me 2 manufacturers and their contact information. Turkey gives me 2 manufacturers and their contact information. Vietnam gives me 2 manufacturers and their contact information. Mexico gives me 2 manufacturers and their contact information. Pakistan gives me 2 manufacturers and their contact information. Poland gives me 2 manufacturers and their contact information. United States gives me 1 manufacturer and their contact information. In 21 seconds, let's call it 45 seconds, including me reading all of them. In 45 seconds, I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alternative countries and 12 alternative manufacturers to produce an insulated water bottle for me outside of China. Guys, the fear mongering on the internet is wild. People will tell you, you can't switch manufacturing that easy. Do you know how hard it's going to be? It will be difficult. I won't even say difficult. It will be some growing pains. It's going to, it's not, there's going to be resistance. It's not like this, like something with no resistance would be placing an order with the exact same manufacturer that you have. A little bit of resistance is now we have to change our manufacturers. Don't let anybody fear monger you guys. I'm not saying that it won't be work that you have to put in, but man, is it possible? If anything, I don't know. Let's make the tariffs on China 500% at this point, to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind if they were 1,000. Actually, at this point, if we don't see 20% tariffs or 10% tariffs, I actually want them to be as high as possible. Make them 1,000. That would actually be great for me. Because again, Chinese manufacturers are not going to go to a different manufacturer to produce their product. So 1, Chinese manufacturers either even the playing field or they'll just be knocked off. And then 2, think about all the sellers who aren't going to take the steps that I just showed you guys, which I think is fairly simple. So you're going to have a bunch of sellers whose businesses go out of business. And I don't wish that upon anybody, but if you're not taking the action to fix your business. And then you're going to have a bunch of Chinese manufacturers who are going to be getting hit with these tariffs. So I will say this, though. I think that considering Chinese manufacturers don't necessarily play by the rules, that they're going to figure out ways to avoid these tariffs by like under declaring their goods, sending them to other countries, because somebody in the US, like, yeah, you have to deal with US consequences if you get caught with all these things, as you should. What are you going to do? Sue a Chinese company? Or the US going to sue China? Right? So I do think that they're still going to be out there, but at least this will help in level out the playing field. Bro, that's a really nice watch you have. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Yo, as I was saying, y'all, make sure you guys are going and showing some love to my last few videos. I've been posting videos about the tariffs, Amazon updates, all that good stuff. And if you guys like the videos and like the lives, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship Program in the TikTok bio. If you guys wanted to have me as your mentor along your entire Amazon journey, could Chinese manufacturers just go to manufacture their products in other countries? Yes, but that would be amazing. Again, that'd be amazing. I'd love that, because then they're even with me. Chinese manufacturers always are able to beat you on price because they're the manufacturer themselves. But if they have to go get their products manufactured in India, then they are going to get the same costs that I'm getting, which is beautiful for me. Guess who's not going to beat me on price? Even though I never compete on price, but it's still something that's nice to be competitive with. So What websites did you use to find alternative manufacturers? That was ChatGPT, my friend. We live in the era of AI, ladies and gentlemen. But on that note, I'm about to go get some dinner with my boy. If you guys like the videos, like the lives, and again, want a more in-depth guide on all things Amazon, learn my exact A through Z strategies on how I achieve numbers like that, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship program in the TikTok bio. Whoa, let's go, Peas. Appreciate you. Please, guys, I hope that wasn't a lot. Please, you guys don't have to gift anything on TikTok. Really, the likes and the shares are more than enough, and I appreciate it. I want you guys to keep your money in your pocket. Before we hop off, let's just show something. Oh, I have to do a puzzle to stay on live. Here we go. Do you want to know why a lot of gurus speak on arbitrage and grocery? It's because arbitrage and wholesale are the easier business model to sell, brother. Ready for this? I'm going to sound like every single one of those gurus. You don't have to you sell products that are already in demand, brand names that people already know. You just list the product on Amazon. You don't have to advertise and you get sales. It sounds easier than private label. At private label, you have to create the product, you have to create the listing, you have to create the ads. But guess what? Private label wins 9 times out of 10. It's more evergreen, even with running ads. It still has higher profit margins. You're able to stand out and differentiate from the competition. I may be competing against other sellers, but I am not competing on the buy box. I win the buy box 10 times out of 10. Nobody can steal my listing. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be the one getting sales on my listing. And then on top of that, I would argue that running ads is a benefit, because if I'm doing 10K a month with 5-10 keywords, and then I go expand my PPC strategy, expand on my product targeting, expand on my ad types, that means I can potentially make more money with a good conversion. I'm not sure what that is, Mighty, to be honest with you. Or maybe I'm just having a brain fart right here. All right, let's show this really quick. Let's show today. Nice, very nice. Let's show yesterday. Very nice. I don't know why it's blurry. It does that sometimes. Anyways, we got last 7 days. Well, it depends. Are you selling something that impedes on their intellectual property? If you are, then you would have to stop. We got last 90 days, close, so close to that 7-figure mark there, which would be actually nuts. And then, oh, somebody told me to do year to date. Airstick was telling me that the other day. Year to date. So 2025 on this account, yes, Ahmed. And then let's do update here. Ilias, thank you so much for the follow. Again, y'all, if you want my exact strategies, A through Z, on how I achieve numbers like that, and to learn those strategies, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship Program in the TikTok bio. I hope you all have a blessed night, and I will see you soon.